Hi Taurus, and welcome to your December 2021 General Tarot. Hi Taurus, and welcome to your December 2021 General Tarot forecast. This is Sky, coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all having a wonderful ending chapter of 2021, or certainly preparing to enter into that. I have been thinking a lot about your energy as we prepare for the nodes to move into your axis, into your sign in January. So there's probably a really strong feeling for you, Taurus, that things are about to get big, that you're about to be thrust into your calling, and that there's not a lot of time left to just kind of, I don't know, observe or to just be passive in your experience. So I'm seeing a much more active Taurus in the year of 2022, and I'm seeing that you've got to allow that to come in. So it's kind of a little bit mind-boggling the way that this energy works for you, because as you can see in your reading, you've got the Empress, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, you've got the Fool, and even Four of Pentacles. So there's kind of a passive reception that is an important factor of thriving in this time. But I feel that that passive accepting deals with the accepting of a need to be more active. So Taurus might currently be in a place where it's very stubborn, and it's kind of like, I know exactly what it takes to meet my needs. I know what my bottom line is, and that's going to be how things are. I've decided, it's under my control. I know how things are going to be. December of 2021 will give you a comfort with that, but by the time we get to January and February, it's not going to be feeling so good. So I just want to tell you guys about that in advance. So thinking that you've got everything under control, thinking that you've dictated the way that your life will be for like the next few years, thinking that there is security where there's not, is not going to feel good by February at the latest. So it's already good to kind of start accepting, okay, I already see in my mind exactly where I want to be. Can I start to make that, a reality now? Can I start to move into that now? You've got the Emperor reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed and the Lovers reversed in your reading. In fact, you've got 4 major arcana cards, which is very heavy. The weight of universal energy coming in is so big for you, yes, because the nodes are about to move into your axis, which is very rare. It doesn't happen too frequently. I feel like you can't really decide like what authority you want to have, or you can't really decide, I've talked a lot about the Lovers archetype lately on the channel because it's something that everyone's dealing with, as many people are put at a crossroads right now or put into a choice-making place. And we all want that. We all want that freedom over our own experience, but at the same time, it puts more liability into our life. It puts more, if the choice ends up not being what you expected, you're the one who chose it. So I do see a bit of stagnation at the crossroads here. Sometimes it's better to be in a choosing place than it is to make a decision. And that is going to probably be difficult for you soon if you can't get behind what you need to do. Again, the Emperor reversed, like unwilling to make a decision, unwilling to commit to something, perhaps. Though at the same time, with the Fool and the Empress, it's like you want a new path and you want a new experience. So it's kind of a frustrating place to be. And I feel that there's a very clear answer and a very clear option coming up for you in how to work with this and how to move forward from this. Basically, the path that you're already on will perfectly exemplify how you need to move forward. So there could be like double lives or 2 jobs or things like this, at the end of North Node in Gemini, where you might feel like you're in 2 different places. And basically, which one feels better to you? Which one do you like more? Which one is more promising for your long term? Choose that, okay? What else do I want to talk about in intuitive messages before we get into the week to week? You do have the Emperor and Empress here, and the way that they're aligned in this spread leads me to believe that you could start a new relationship or even meet a very impactful person during this time, someone who really fits, someone who's really compatible with you. So it is an interesting time for compatibility in the month of December for you. You also have the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. I think that you need to maybe redo your budget, or you need to have a different philosophy with value. We have a total solar eclipse happening on December 4th in Sagittarius. So everyone is having a concept shift. Most people are having somewhat of an identity shift and somewhat of a value shift, okay? The previous lunar eclipse on November 19th was in Taurus, which deals with value. And then its succeeding solar eclipse, their lunar and solar eclipses always happen near each other. The succeeding solar eclipse was in Sagittarius. So we have value and concept changes linked together. So shopaholism, debt orientation, emotional debt orientation, deficit experiences, time, money, energy, not having enough time to do something, not having enough money to do something, not having enough energy to do something, yet forcing yourself through going into debt will be something that has to change up in December. And by the third week, I'm already feeling that you have got this figured out. So it's a good timeline to work with. Like by the third week of December, I need a little bit of a different system. To put it very point blankly, a lot of you need more income. A lot of you need to give that to yourself. It's not a matter of expecting someone else to give it to you. It's not a matter of expecting or thinking like, I can't make more money. I can't, this is the limit. This is as high as it goes. You just need to give it to yourself, okay? You need to have a little bit maybe of a different thought about industry or a different thought about the section in which you might be focusing your income. That could be a little bit off for everybody right now. And by the third week of December, when we hit Capricorn season, I think it's going to get really clear, the money thing or the source of value and how we need that to be to live the life that is right for us. Ace of Pentacles coming in at the end of the month. You might receive a gift of money. You might also be promoted, or you might be able to more easily envision and engender a more potent fiscal experience into your life. So that's a nice thing to think about. Let's talk about your week-to-week Taurus. We talked about the fourth week there a little bit, but week number 1, you've got the Fool rooted down by Ace of Wands reversed. So, new beginnings with desire. A lot of you are turning off your creativity. Ace of Wands reverse, I can tell you point blank, you're turning it off. You're like, this is not a situation where I need to have a creative solution. This is like a material solution or a logistic solution or a tried and true type of status quo solution. It's got to be a creative solution. Okay, you've got to get a little bit more creative in how you're living. I feel that you might be relying too heavily on an old paradigm's value system. So the old vision of retirement, the old vision of wages, the old vision of minimum wage, the old vision of, mortgages, or these old, I already feel Capricorn season coming on. It's getting so financial already. None of that is reliable right now. We've got to get a little bit creative. I can say that probably one of the only older status quo systems that works is entrepreneurship. And even it is quite infected in a way. I mean, it's a controversial topic, and I talked a lot about this in the Global Dynamics video. It was a few videos back. If you want to check that video to get more on that. But because of the new economic systems, there is a freshness about entrepreneurship. So maybe that's right for some of you. You might think about that. And if it's not that, maybe it's just creative projects, so artistic projects. And if those two things can intertwine, I think that that's wonderful. So entrepreneurship based on art is an interesting thought for you all. Maybe it's just time to start selling those paintings again. Maybe it's time to think of a more graphical type of solution to your life. Maybe this has nothing to do with money, and maybe this is also about the graphics that are surrounding you. What paintings are on your walls, what wallpapers are on your devices. I feel that these things might be playing a subtle role in your psychology at this time too. And I feel like you need something new and fresh. So I am seeing new, fresh clothing styles for you. Maybe this is a new hairstyle. Maybe this is a new way of creatively motivating yourself, because it does feel a little bit stagnant and stubborn, as it would for all fixed signs right now. Week number 2, you've got the Queen of Pentacles rooted down by the Emperor reversed. It's very feminine, right? Like the energy that you're in, and it's working well. The feminine aspect of you is working well. I would pay attention to the masculine side of yourself, as that feels a little bit reversed right now. You might be kind of relying on things just working themselves out. You might be kind of biding your time. You might be kind of pensive and trusting in a greater type of resolution to eventuate itself. I am feeling that that is right for now. But do think about how it might be needed to actually actively stand in your knowing and to actually make a decision of your own in these contexts. That might need to happen into 2022 in order to not be getting the shorter end of the stick from most people. So week number 3, you've got the Empress rooted down by 4 of Pentacles. Incredible abundance kind of starts coming in, and you might do best to really understand the meaning of receiving this abundance. I think that you might get a great gift from someone here. I think that you might also, it might be indicated to save more over the holidays. I mean, of course, we have Christmas during that time. So the Empress is about abundance. The Empress is about reception. And then the 4 of Pentacles is about frugality. So maybe there is a frugal way of accepting. That sounds kind of strange. But that combination of energies is kind of like Scrooge-ish in a way. And maybe that's right. Maybe that's like the way to do it. Or maybe it's about thoughtful gifts instead of expensive gifts. I do feel like it at least has to be that. Thoughtful gifts. Like if you can't afford something, maybe the answer is not to get anybody anything. But maybe it's about thoughtful giving to other people instead of costly giving. Okay. Week 4, Ace of Pentacles, rooted down by the Lovers reversed. It seems there's some kind of financial choice you have to make. I don't know, if you're running a business, try to really get those expenses down. If you're buying up gifts for every person that you know, think about that. Also, if your lifestyle is like out of control, whether that's finance or whether it's like the amount of food one is eating, or whether it's like, I will say, as we move it from the cusp time of the 2021 to 2022 year cycle, it really feels to me that there's a very big redo of amounts. So of course we think money, but this is not just money. This is like amount of time given to something, amount of energy given to something, amount of space required to live in, amount like measurements, amounts. This is very important. Okay, amount of vitamins we're taking, amount of nutrients we're getting, amount of time dedicated to a job or a business, and really understanding the long term and what it means. You know, running without worn running shoes, I can tell you over the long run, it's not great for your feet. But you feel like you're saving money, right? You're like, I'm going to save money. And in the short term, you're like, yeah, I've saved money. But in the long term, you've injured your feet. This type of dynamic is a very important thing to see. And that's what the energy here is. And I want you guys to think about that. Like, am I benefiting in the short term to, gosh, I almost cursed, but I try to not do that here on YouTube, or I try to not do it in general, actually. But am I benefiting in the short term to mess up my long-term experience? Is this short-term benefit messing up my long-term trajectory? It's an important thing to consider at this time. And we want to really get that straight. If you're really advanced, getting that straight before March of 2022 is huge, but it's going to take some people even until like the end of 2022 or the middle section of 2023 to be like certifiably into these more appropriately spaced or more appropriately measured, more appropriately tailored lifestyles and experiences. So if you spend some time here in Capricorn season, especially 3rd and 4th week of December, as the last bit of North Node in Gemini is there, you know, the ability to really think purposefully about whatever you like, you can really make a lot of mental progress in the end of December. Especially if you're thinking about like, okay, I have these short-term micro goals and then I have these long-term macro goals. Are they in conflict? To use the previous hypothetical example, am I saving money on running shoes to give myself long-term foot problems? Really take a look at these types of juxtaposed features within your life and try to write them, okay? Write, R-I-G-H-T, try to write them. Come to a kind of balanced resolution. Maybe I invest in orthotics and I don't have to purchase running shoes as often, and this is a midway kind of balanced way to move forward with this. Or maybe by virtue of taking place in running, I can set up a new sort of like governance about how often I replace running shoes, and maybe there's doctor's input to recommend that, and maybe that's going to be a cost of doing business, essentially, or a cost of doing running. Do you kind of see the mindsets that I'm getting into there? It's very Capricorn, right? So we have to do that on a lot of fronts. That's a very, kind of nebulous example, I suppose, but it's really perfect in a way, because I've been seeing psychic images of the feet for this last quarter of 2021, and it says to me that a lot of us don't know like what we're standing on, or we're so up in our mind with all this like Aquarius and Pisces and Sagittarius energy. A lot of us are ungrounded, so root chakra healing and expansion is important now. The feet are important, the spine, right? The lower back, the lumbar region, all very important. And even, I mean, the whole entire spine, really, because it's such a root of the rest of the body, right? So yeah, let's talk more about that in your extended reading, Taurus. Let's talk about better alignment. Let's talk about setting a space for these solutions to come through, and to understand how to facilitate that. So if you guys haven't checked out the Patreon page yet, I do bonus weekly forecasts on Saturdays called T-Chats, and those are only over there. They're incredible. Probably one of the best content series that I have on the channel. So check that out over there. And yes, you get all the readings ad-free, early and extended readings by having the one subscription. So I'll link that below and in the center of your screen now. And let's go do that extended reading. Thank you, Taurus. See you soon. Bye.